Welcome to episode 2 of Binge Watchers Council. This is Joy, but we have the whole gang with us today. So we have Dawn.
Hey.
And Dom.
Hi.
So you're in for a real treat. Let's start by talking about what we're currently binging, especially for those who need to catch some air from Bridgerton.
Don't we all?
Yeah. There are things other than Bridgerton we are watching right now. All right.
Here we go.
Have you ever thought you had the best podcast idea, but trying to figure out how to record, manipulate, edit, and all that goes into podcasting was just too much for you? Anchor is the perfect solution. You literally just hit record, and they do all the hard work for you. They even have music you can add to your background. I wish I had found Anchor sooner because it would have saved me a lot of time and a lot of stress. If you're even considering starting a podcast, definitely try out Anchor. You'll be happy that you did.
All right, let's start with Wonder Woman 84, one of the few movies to actually come out so far this year.
Did you like it?
I did because it was a new movie. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be one of my all-time favorites for several reasons, but it was a new movie, and that part was fun. It's like, hey, we get to watch something that should have come out last year, finally coming out this year. But I have some issues with it. I mean, do you want me to go into those? Do you want me to give someone else an opportunity to talk?
No, go ahead. We'll interject. Dawn, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, well, the biggest issue for me, it's good. It's entertaining. It's a DC.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. My biggest issue was the return of Steve. If you've seen the trailer, that's not a spoiler. Steve does come back.
In another body.
He's in another body. And they do have kind of a little bit of romantic moments that the guy's body did not consent to. So that part's a little bit odd. But, in her mind, and she even says this in the movie, I look at you and I only see Steve. And that's what we got to do as well. We only saw Steve, but the truth was it was someone else's body because when he looked in a mirror, it was someone else.
And again, what we said, if it had been reversed,
it would have been a big issue with society.
It would have never happened.
But, apart from that, the storyline, television and movies are doing this thing now where they make the bad guy very relatable. Like you almost feel kind of sorry for him and that's kind of a trend right now. And that's certainly the case with this, but the action's pretty good. They work really hard to try to explain some things that are in the comic book way in a non-cheesy way, such as the invisible airplane. She lost the shield and the sword in this movie, which was a big deal. It was more she actually used her tiara like a boomerang, which, was constantly happening in the TV show. So they brought some of the regular standard Wonder Woman things into play in this. And for that, fans are very happy.
Well, I'll tell you what I don't like about the invisible airplane. How do you go from knowing how to fly an airplane in the 20s, and all of a sudden you're in the future and you can just randomly fly a plane to Cairo? Was there even a map? He didn't even put it in a GPS. Like, you just knew that you had gas. I didn't see them check. It was fueled. It was ready to go.
Said, why didn't they turn it invisible
before you started it? Now they're like, hey, there's a plane moving. Oh my God, it disappeared. Okay, how are we going to explain that to people? So that was my issue with the airplane turning invisible.
I like that she used the lasso more.
She did.
A lot more.
She did use the lasso a lot.
But did you guys see
got the lasso lightning.
Her running? The CGI is just... Are we going back to the 1984 CGI? Is that what they were doing? I was kind of questioning that.
I don't think they had
CGI.
Because it didn't look great.
Yeah.
She had Tom Cruise hands.
She did.
Y'all can't see what I'm doing, but I'm doing Tom Cruise hands.
He actually runs where she looks like she was not.
It looked like Twilight running.
It did look like Twilight
running.
Twilight. So great. So,
but I digress.
We forgive Twilight for doing it.
And I actually liked Kristen Wiig in this. I thought she played a really cute little quirky girl who never gets the guys.
You felt bad for her.
She was relatable.
And then you started to really not like her as she got meaner.
You're right. But I do understand, and that would have been my wish. And no, I would not have wanted my wish taken away. Yeah. I would not have wanted to turn into a cat. But I guess that's where they went with that. But again, I didn't know the comic book, so maybe she was always a cat. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
So it's a great movie to be free and to watch with children,
Yeah,
like most DC movies are, because they're not very mature.
That's true.
that is true.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, that was Wonder Woman.
Okay, so now we're talking about Queen's Gambit, another Netflix original, and we do skip around to the other streaming services. We don't stick to just Netflix, but
It
it's
is one
hard
of the
to-
best.
It is. They are the ones stepping up their game with a lot of new releases that we enjoy. Queen's Gambit is about a young woman who was orphaned, goes to a really awful orphanage in the 50s, 60s, somewhere in there. I'm looking at Dawn because she
I
might
can't
have known
remember.
that better than I did. And becomes a chess prodigy. Basically, she sees the janitor playing by himself one day. She asks if she can learn, and it turns out she is a prodigy. Some of that is a little bit drug enhanced, but she actually does have a lot of talent, and she reads up on it, and she becomes really well known for this. Like any movie nowadays, especially in Netflix, it's got a little darkness to it.
Woohoo! Love the dark.
Yeah, well, I like it as long as there's a little gallows humor with it, which Joss Whedon does really, really well. But not everybody does that, and so
Hello,
sometimes,
Jessica Jones.
yeah, so sometimes it's just dark. But it's not super dark. She just, there's a scene, like if you ever used to watch VH1 movies or the Real Story on E, there's always a part that says coming up. It all falls apart. Yeah, how it all
Dun,
goes.
dun, dun.
Yeah, so she has a little bit of self-sabotage right in the middle, but then her friends, which she discovers by the end, she's made some really great friends along the way. One of them is Dudley.
Wow, Dudley. He's lost a lot of weight.
He has lost a lot of weight, and he's got an American accent in this movie. So you really sit there for a minute going, who is that? How do I know him?
Does he do well with an American accent?
Yes, he does very well.
Is he American?
British people always do well with
Oh.
American. It's not American that do great with British.
Is he American though, or what
No,
is he?
No,
He's
he's British.
Oh, okay. That's Dudley from Harry Potter, for those who don't know.
Yeah, Dudley from Harry Potter is in it. And it has a very triumphant and nice ending. I like how she is a strong woman, and they do there's a couple of that where they question, like, how are you, a girl, gonna, and she's always got good answers for whenever they ask a stupid question like that. She also gets a little into the mod fashion of the 60s, which is fun to watch. So there's a lot of good things about it. The ending, of course, is just the best part.
I think too, they're trying to go into the mental health issue. Her mother was a genius, but sometimes genius causes
Insanity. Thin line.
Thin line.
Yeah.
Thin line.
And so she inherits that genius from her mother, which is why she's so good at chess and because of the mathematics
Yes.
behind it. And
Hence why I'm not.
Not great at chess. So I definitely say this is definitely binge worthy.
And everyone's talking about the Queen's Gambit, and I haven't seen it yet. However, my boyfriend has, and we were playing Jeopardy. Well, watching Jeopardy and playing against each other. And there was a chess question, and he actually got it right. Not because he plays chess, but
Because of the
because he
movie.
watched the Queen's
See?
Gambit.
and chess sales have gone through the
So,
roof since
Certain
this movie
streaming
came
makes you
out.
smarter.
Now I have to watch it so I can, of
I'm
course,
forgetting
excel.
the actress's name, the lead actress, but she's also recently played Emma in another version of Emma that's gotten really popular, and that's on Amazon Prime, and that's really the only reason I'm talking about it.
Is that a good one?
It
It was a little quirky.
It was a little odd. It was a little
Ah.
odd. But the lady that plays Miranda and she's also in Called the Midwife or
Mhm.
what? She's in that one. She's always hilarious. So I haven't seen it yet, but I plan to.
Add that to the list.
Okay, so now we're talking about Friends, which I like to consider my evening palate cleanser. That's why if I'm watching anything dark or scary, a little bit of Friends before you go to
Yes.
bed just makes
Yeah.
you feel
That's
better.
always the go-to until Netflix took it off.
Ugh,
Yeah,
And
bad move. Bad
it
move.
was a bad
Well, they
move.
lost the rights to it, I guess. At
Well,
that
we
point.
know. It's like when they lost the rights to anything Disney.
Yes.
However, thanks to AT&T, which I think we all have, HBO Max, praise Jesus.
So Friends is back on, and I personally, for some reason, whenever I'm binging, I like to go back and start with the season where Monica and Chandler hook up. So I always start with that one.
late into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
way late into it. I mean, I will let it go to the beginning again, but if I was just now like let's start with any season. I'm going to start with that because their whole storyline and how they
hilarious.
kept it funny.
And I
Joey
cannot
was
do
so
that.
funny
Joey
during
was
that part.
that's when he got funnier and funnier. I mean, he was funny up until then, but he got to some really good moments
Yeah.
to shine from
My
that season
OCD
on.
cannot let me do that. I have to start from season 1, episode 1 and keep it going. But I'm definitely rewatching all of it now. And
Where you at?
I forget how good it is. Where am I? So Russ and Rachel are together.
Okay.
He has not had a break yet.
Okay. But he is her lobster.
He is her lobster, yes. And Phoebe just met her brother. So we're right at that point. Actually, that's the episode I left off on where he thought she was a prostitute at the massage parlor. So
that.
that's where I am at.
What
But
about
it's,
that actor? What's his name? Anthony Ribisi or something like that. He's
I
got
don't
like an
know.
Italian name, but he is so funny.
He plays that role.
super
Gosh.
good.
yeah, he plays a little creep. Like it's perfect.
Where he likes to burn stuff.
Yeah.
So,
That's funny.
So Friends is really great. I mean, if you're stuck with Netflix, a lot of times I'll like Parks and Rec or 30
Yeah.
Rock or something like that. Just something a little funny, but nothing beats Friends.
Or
in
Schitt's
terms-
Creek.
Oh yeah, Schitt's Creek, always a good one. That's a recent good one. So I really wish you two would watch it so we could talk about it.
I'll get on the
will.
bandwagon soon once I run out of everything else. So let's get into the books, what we're all reading currently. Dawn, are you reading anything?
Binge booking.
Yes.
Right now I'm reading Uprooted by Naomi Novik. She wrote His Majesty's Dragon series,
Oh, that sounds good.
which the first book was fantastic.
Dot, dot, dot.
Dot, dot, dot. But this is really good so far.
What's
So,
it about? Tell us.
It's about the lord of this town. He's called the Dragon.
Love
He's not
him.
an actual dragon, it's a man, and he's a magician, warlock, whatever. And every 10 years, he chooses a new girl from the village to take.
And do what with?
That's where you don't know. You don't know what happens to these girls at his tower.
I'm
they're
interested.
returned after 10 years, and they never stay in the village, and they're always more well-educated, well-dressed. I mean, they're
Concubines?
Is it like in The
apparently
Witcher?
They all say he never touched them. And
Huh.
so, but they
Physically.
go out into the world and want to see the world. They never come back to the village ever. So I'm reading about now the little girl who has now been taken, who was not someone they thought he would take. She does not fit the bill or the description.
Is it always a child?
It's always a girl of a certain age. He
Huh.
takes every 10 years, and she never thought she would be the one.
Do
he
they
picks.
want to be taken?
No,
Oh.
but the families know it's going to happen.
Hmm.
So there were 11 the year she's picked. There were 11 girls to pick from. And she thought her
Dang.
best friend was going to get picked because she's perfect. And instead, I
Ha,
think the
so
whole
glad
point
it
of the book
wasn't
is
her.
that the magic picks them, not him.
The
It's
wand
whoever
chooses the
magic-
wizard.
Yes. I think the
Very
magic
Always
is the girl.
can relate it back to Harry Potter.
Yeah.
That sounds good
Everything
though.
can be.
And this is a series or just a book?
This is the first book.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to be a series or if it's just a standalone, but it's
That
really
sounds good.
interesting so far.
I'm reading right now You, which everyone is obsessed with the show. So I wanted to compare it. And the book, oh my God, like he's a psycho in the show. He's more psycho, if that's possible. This is almost like, what's that book with the girl who writes in her diary?
Oh,
Gone Girl. This is Gone Girl.
She was backcrap crazy.
Yes. So this is Gone Girl boy version, but
Okay.
worse. So that's what I'm reading, and it's really good.
Okay. Well, I'm reading a couple of things a lot more lighthearted than that. First of all, I finished The Ichabod, which is J.K. Rowling's
Oh.
new book, and it's not Harry Potter. So all of you who kind of hope, oh, is this going to be another opportunity to have a fandom like Harry Potter? No, it's like a one story. I mean, it's start to finish. It is kind of like a fairy tale. It makes me think of reading Beetle the Bard stuff.
Oh,
And it's the legend of the Ichabod, and I can't tell. A part of it makes me feel like it might be some sort of satire on current government, but because if she's making a point, I don't quite get it. Other than greedy politicians do lie about stuff. Who knew?
What?
But I feel like that's obvious, and and there really is an Ichabod monster, but he's very misunderstood. Again, that's
Of course, he's the bad boy.
very misunderstood, and it has a great happy ending, and so it's a nice little story, and children can read it.
And it's better than her other book where she tried to act like it wasn't her writing it?
Okay. I never read any of those, the ones where she's the mystery writer, but I did read the Casual Vacancy, which is still in my top 5 worst books I've read.
So it's much better than that.
It is much better than
Great.
that. But it's not
it's not Harry Potter.
It's not Harry Potter. They don't have the character development, and she does do a nice job of creating this little world of the fairy tale. It's Cornucopia, I think is the name of the place, and it's got all these little sections to it, and each of them specialize in something. Like this one makes cheese, and this one makes wine, and this
I want to go to the one with the cheese.
Yeah. Don't we all?
I'll go to the one with the wine.
Well, it's also hard to build characters and character development when you only have one book in one story.
But she does okay, but it's just, you don't get as attached.
You've never read Brandon Sanderson.
I have not.
Oh, he does. He's
incredible.
We'll save Brandon Sanderson to
another episode.
Yeah. And then the other one I'm reading or just finished was Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer, which is the flip side of Twilight. You're hearing it from Edward's point of view.
Psycho, stalker.
Yeah. It really is.
Joe from you.
Like what I liked about Twilight was, she was a klutzy everyday girl who the hottest guy in school falls for, right? So who doesn't love that story? Because we were all klutzy girls at some point.
We
right?
wanted that to happen.
Yeah, that didn't happen. No vampire fell in love with me, but
I'm still waiting.
Yeah, it could still happen. Trip a lot. See what happens.
Yeah.
So this was from Edward's point of view, and the good part, I'll tell you the good part. The good part is they flesh out more stories about his family. They tell more of their backstories, and there's more Emmett stories, and Emmett's always funny, and there's more about Jasper, and the times that he tried to turn his back on Carlisle and not be what they call a vegetarian because they don't eat human or drink
drain whatever.
Yeah. So but the story with him and Bella is it's like an obsessive creepy love, and you feel like you're listening to a stalker. You really do, because he is just completely obsessed with her all the time, and
for no reason.
Yeah, and I don't like how he's oblivious to his own looks. I mean, if you're a good-looking person, you're
a vampire. He said it in the movie that we are supposed to entice you.
Yeah,
you're enticing.
And he's always surprised when he tries to flirt with her and it works. He's like, I couldn't believe that worked, and it's like, really? But
I think she waited too long to release this, because back years ago when the first chapter or 2 chapters were released, when everyone was on this Twilight kick, we were younger. So maybe we would have liked it more and not thought it was so icky and stalkery.
But we're older now and we know better.
Exactly.
And it's pretty stalkery.
And I mean, her fan base has gotten older.
Yes.
So.
All right. But, it's still, if you were obsessed with Twilight, it's still fun to hear the other side of the stories. But other than that, there's no surprises. I'm not
just
doing any spoilers here, because they literally tell the exact same story just from another viewpoint.
Another palate cleanser to me was Emily in Paris. I mean, I binged that from start to finish, mainly because I wanted to be in Paris and eat all of the food. But I mean, it's the classic story. Girl goes to Paris, falls in love with a guy. He's unavailable. But where it twists is she ends up being friends with his girlfriend, but still liking him, and they kiss. It's really weird to me, because I'm like, no, you can't be friends with her ever. Never. Just don't do it.
Or don't like him anymore if you're going to be friends with her.
No, that's not possible. They live in the same apartment.
It's part of a building.
And he's a chef. Why? No, we need to love him.
Chef.
Yeah, we need to love him. Let go of the friend. She needs to go.
Okay, so I loved it because it's Paris. The fashion is great. The actress whose name I'm now forgetting, Phil Collins' daughter. What's her name?
Oh, I don't know.
Something Collins.
Pretty girl with brown hair.
Yeah, she played Snow White, and she played an anorexic girl in some movie.
Did she?
Yeah, that one with Keanu Reeves where he was the doctor.
That was so good.
Yeah. So, what is her first name? Now
I got you. Don't worry.
Okay.
Well, I'll find it.
Lily Collins. Okay.
Oh, Lily Collins.
Yes. So she plays Emily. It's not a downside really. It's just the producers of this show are the same ones who did Sex and the City, and I'm a big
Makes
Sex and the
sense.
City fan. But they tout it like it's another Sex and the City, and it isn't. I mean, it's good. It's very good, but nothing about this girl's life is realism. And I'll tell you a few examples. She always looks good, even while she's jogging. She doesn't struggle with money. She doesn't struggle with anything with her work. I mean, there is a lot of bullying going on with her at her work.
Because
where
she's the
having
American.
but she always comes up with the good idea at the last second
Yeah.
that saves the whole account. And everyone, it just, that doesn't, when
You kind of want to
Sex and
hate
the
her.
City, they had some struggles with bills. They had struggles with
Well, and friendship.
men.
They were all friends, so
They
we
were
could
all
relate.
friends. Yeah, and I mean, there was actual thing they ate.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
front of you. Their fashion was questionable sometimes, not
Oh, yeah.
always perfect. So this one isn't. I wish they had a little more of like what girls actually go through. I mean, not. I don't even have a good example of that. But I do wonder, like, how do you pay your bills?
Yeah.
Where do
How much
you
are you
shop?
making?
How much are you making here? So there's like a little curiosity I have, and I'd like to see her not always save everything every time. Like, oh, I'm at this
Yeah.
club and I just got a great idea that saved the whole account. But you're right. It's a palate cleanser. It's fun to watch. It's cute. It's, it's just, I don't think it's going to have the same following that Sex and the City had.
But it was something nice and light to watch during these crazy times going on.
Yes,
So
that part was great. Nothing dark. There's nothing dark
no
about
darkness.
the show.
Just pretty Paris.
Yeah, pretty girl and pretty Paris.
Yep,
with pretty boys.
I'm in.
All right.
So I am the gamer of the trio.
Yes, you
And
are.
if you are a gamer and if you play World of Warcraft, then you know the new expansion came out in November, Shadowlands. I used to be really big into raiding and all that stuff, but I've kind of work life and just real life have.
What?
You can't stay up all night.
You can't game
I
day
can't
and night?
game until 7 a.m. anymore. I started playing World of Warcraft in 2007. So I've been playing a very long time, and Shadowlands is the new expansion. I will say it is better than the last expansion, BFA.
What's BFA stand for?
Battle for Azeroth.
Okay.
Shadowlands sounds better anyway.
Shadowlands does
It
sound
does
better.
sound better.
From the non-gamers.
I will say the storyline has been fantastic. The Covenant system I'm still getting used to. I chose Necrolords. I'm an elemental shaman, resto shaman, so I chose Necrolords.
Necrolords, is that
yes.
like
Dead people?
necrophilia?
It is. You do take dead parts and build things.
Oh,
Yeah.
Frankenstein. Okay.
Yeah, so
Cool.
it's been interesting. But you do get to revisit people that have died before that you are now getting to see again, which is nice. And
What were your options if you chose Necrolord? What else is there?
Bastion, Necrolords, Revendreth, or Ardenweald, the Night Fae. I
Ooh,
chose the
that
Night
sounds
Fae
nice.
on my hunter. Yeah, I chose the Night Fae on my hunter. It's Ardenweald's beautiful. It's all beautiful. Every part of it is beautiful. They went all out on the graphics.
Unlike Wonder Woman. Continue.
So the storyline has been interesting, but I will say I'm kind of already bored. I don't log in every day
Aw.
anymore. I'm already kind of bored because I'm not raiding.
Can you not raid in this?
No, you
expansion?
can. You can, and my husband does. He
Oh.
raids twice a week. He's there, ready to go. I got burnt out on raiding, so I did it for so long. I got burnt out. But the story is good. Torghast, which was a big deal for this. Not loving it so far. I love how powerful I get in there, but then you come out and you're like, oh, I'm so weak. But it's been good. I just am not as into it as most people are. But again, I don't have the time to put into it anymore that I used to, which is probably a good thing. And so that's the new game I'm doing. And of course, I always go back to play Elder Scrolls or Oblivion or Skyrim. Those are my go-tos when I just want something fun to do.
How long?
Palette cleanser.
How long does it take for another expansion? Like, will they come out with
It's
another one
normally
soon?
2 years. It's
Oh.
usually 2 years between
So that's
expansions.
a big deal whenever a new one comes
Yes,
out.
when a new expansion comes out, it's a huge deal.
Mm.
Normally, our whole guild gets on at the same time.
They didn't this time.
And no, they did. Actually, we all did. Yeah, we all did.
We should form
were
a
all
guild.
there. We could.
We won't do
okay,
anything.
so-
we
so
won't do
just-
anything. But
Just for the sake of
to
the
be
audience,
pretty.
I don't. Just to be clear, we're not the other two of us
I love gamers.
are not anti-gamers at all. For me, it's one of those things like why I don't try fried Snickers. I know I will like it. It is not good for me. So that's the only reason I don't do gaming is because I'd probably love it and it would like destroy my career.
And I have tried gaming. However, my coordination with my hands and my competitiveness makes me not a good gamer because I will throw things or just hide behind a wall and let everyone else kill people. So I am not a good gamer, but I do love
Sounds like
gamers.
you're not a good teammate.
Probably not. I do love gamers. Usually I date gamers. I like to watch them play because then I'm like,
she married a gamer.
did you see that guy back there? There's someone trying to kill you, you know? So
I didn't marry a gamer, but he has killed people.
in real life, IRL.
Just to clarify, he's in the military.
Married a soldier.
Some may say.
What? Is he a serial
Or
killer?
is he
What's going on
Joe
there?
from You? We don't know.
He doesn't love me as much as Joe from You loves women.
That's great. He
I don't
does
know how
love.
that love.
He loves
There's
love.
I mean, not to jump back to Joe from You, but I will say there's some women that like get an actual crush on that character. And
I like him.
Speaking of
Season
liking-
2, I kind of liked him. He's cutish. Some people think he's very
I don't think
hot.
we're supposed to like him, though. I think we're supposed to
He
recognize
doesn't
he's
think
a
we should
trouble.
like him. The guy who
Well, we
plays him.
probably shouldn't. I mean, but why do we like serial killer documentaries? Hello. People love Ted Bundy, don't they? Women
Not me,
loved him.
Not just to be clear.
I mean, I liked,
I mean,
well, let me rephrase. I loved Zac Efron when he played Ted Bundy. So I can understand.
okay.
but-
I like Spike. He was kind of a.
He's a killer.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Damon,
Damon, I know.
Salvatore. So we all have that bad boy.
If they're vampires,
Apparently, we just love vampires.
which is really
Or
not
randomly
vampires.
burst out in song.
Which
Zac
the
Efron.
Revendreth Covenant are vampires.
Oh. But the Night Fae sound nice.
They're beautiful
and pretty.
Yeah, they are beautiful.
See how we circled back around to that? That
Yeah.
was great.
We
Good
should-
segue.
We should start a guild. Sorry, Dawn, you can't be in it because you like to play. We're just going to be there. They're like,
Don't like
what's
gaming.
this guild doing? They're not even doing
You
anything.
should just call your
That's
guild. We hate gaming.
Can a guild just sit off to the side?
Yeah,
drinking
like do
wine?
people say this guild does nothing? That's us.
Yeah, you can name your guild whatever you want, and you can do whatever you want.
To the guilds we go.
Wait a minute. What world is this?
So what
This is why. I don't
what is
try
the
gaming.
point of the game though? What are you trying to do? Kill
High
people?
score?
Win?
The goal of World of Warcraft is to get better gear so you can get better gear.
So shopping.
If you kill people while you're shopping to get
All
their
I'm
gear,
saying
Yeah.
is those World of Warcraft guys, they came up with a proof of concept that just
That-
keeps giving.
yes, this has been going on.
So how does it
forever.
end?
It never ends. You never truly win. There's always another
The house
horrific
always
thing
wins.
that's going to happen that you have to save them from.
Just for clarification, Don did encourage me to buy the World of Warcraft for a gift for you guys back in 2007.
I actually bought it for Kenneth for his birthday back in
For me?
2007.
No, for
Oh, I was like, thanks.
Yeah, and
I'll
then
do a
he
guild.
convinced me to play with him, and that's the end of that. So I've been playing since 2007.
Well,
that's
there's still
commitment.
hope for us.
Well, hey, Buffy was still on. I'd still be watching it. So.
Oh, I definitely would. And still do.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yes,
say, I
and we
still
do.
binge it at
Another
least
one we
once a
come
year.
back to. So let's talk about what's coming out soon. One being the revival of Sex and the City, which they're calling And Just Like That, which is a terrible name. Let's just call it Sex and the City. But anyways,
Well, Golden
More
Girls was
Sex
already
and the City.
taken.
true. But I'm really sad to see that Kim Cattrall is not coming back. Samantha, she just needs to be part of it. I don't care if you guys don't get along in real life. This isn't real life. You're not
Right,
married
yeah,
to Big.
show.
So anyways,
Married to Big. I'm
um,
married to Big.
yeah, we've all been with a Big,
I
but
mean,
have not.
like the boyfriend
it's good
who
for you, actually.
somehow ended up marrying that made you so miserable when you dated him. But he's a great husband.
And we hope that he was a great husband to Carrie. I really would hope that I love anyone and their sexual orientation. I just really wish that they would make Miranda gay. You're gay. She is.
In real
Like
life, she is.
in real life, in acting, you just I don't see your chemistry with Steve. First of all, I don't even see Steve's chemistry with anybody ever in New York City. Maybe you need to go to, I don't know, Hoboken, but I don't know. But yeah, so I just think that I could see.
Apologies to the city of Hoboken.
Yeah, well, they have good cake places, according to Food Network. But yeah, I don't mind
Or
seeing.
she comes to realize that that's why she can't have a successful relationship with men.
Right,
It's
let
because
that
she's
character
actually
build.
in love with women.
I would love that. I would actually love to see that. And of course, Charlotte, her marriage is going to be perfect. I hope
'Cause everyone loves
nothing.
Harry.
Yeah, I hope nothing wrong goes there because
Yeah.
it would break my heart. She's already had so much heartbreak.
Yeah.
So
what I'm hoping for it is, first, I'm hoping they don't kill Samantha. Just have her not there. Like,
if they do something with breast cancer, I swear to God.
I would like her to have reconciled with Smith, and they are
Yes.
off on some island somewhere.
They bought an island.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Enjoying
that's what I want to
life.
see.
But that I'm hoping they don't kill her. I'm hoping it's got the same funniness and normal problems that women go through, because every episode, even though we didn't have that exact situation,
I did.
we could relate to those things that she went through over and over and over. And so I hope they have some of that. I hope they don't give anyone marital problems, because that's just going to make me sad. But
They already did with Miranda.
Yeah, I was about to say, how can they,
And even Carrie.
we're all perfect.
Right.
They're going to have some conflicts somewhere.
And is this going to be an ongoing show, or are we just doing one season to round it out so we see what happened? Big hasn't even said he's joining yet. So we don't know if that's even going to go anywhere, or is that someone they're going to try and kill?
Maybe they just go on a trip together and it's just this one.
I would love that.
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no question about it. I'm going to watch it. I don't want them to ruin something I loved by just taking it a little too far.
Well, I appreciate that they said they're not replacing Samantha. I would hate to see them try to replace her. And they said she can't be replaced. It's just going to be continuing.
Yeah, let Anthony have a bigger role.
Yes. I hope he's in it.
I love Anthony and Stanford. Have them
I love Stanford.
And they're married now, so just bring them along.
Yeah. I hope they bring them in.
That would be great.
Yeah. I hope they don't. It's New York City, and like we said, yes, things are relatable, but I don't want to see COVID. I don't want to see riots. I want to see glamour, because that's what Sex and the City is glamour.
It was a lot of the glitterati.
Exactly.
Is what they called it. We want to see more of that and come up with a new signature cocktail. And
yes.
Other purses we want to buy, because
not from trunks in a car. Learned that from an episode. But what else is coming out this year?
Well, we were talking a second ago about Karen Gillian. Thank you. I always want to say it with a soft G. I don't know why. Just like with Ray J. Jean, who we'll get back to in just a second. But Karen Gillian is getting, apparently, or they're in talks about her getting her own spinoff for the Ruby Roundhouse character in Jumanji. The last Jumanji, they ended with all the ostriches running through the city, as though it was like the original Jumanji, where now the game has come out and it's in our world,
which I'd love to see. Not just with her.
I don't think that one will be with just her.
Okay.
No, that won't. That's going to be I want to see that first, basically.
Me too. Well, the second movie didn't do as well in theaters, so I don't even know if they'll make a third.
True, but
if they made any money, they'll probably make a third.
And Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson love acting together.
Yes,
they're good friends. So
that's always going to make money, no matter what.
Jack Black does a really good job of playing the different characters.
Jack Black, he's so great.
He does really good. I love when he's
those three together.
No, it wasn't Brittany. The girl from Jumanji that Jack Black played.
If you hadn't asked me,
getting a medi petty. He just
he was a great teenage girl.
He is a great teenage girl.
He's an all-around actor for sure. But I love all three of them together.
Yes.
They're just, they could do anything to me and I'm going to watch it because it's going to be funny.
It is going to be
all
funny.
of them.
It will be.
The smoldering look, allergic to cake, it's just going to be great.
So let's get back to
Ray
J. Jean.
Oh, Ray J. Jean. All right.
I always like to go back to Ray J. Jean.
Don't we all? Our newest obsession. What's he going to do next? Well, there's a lot of talk about everyone wants him to be the next James Bond. There's a petition
for him to be James Bond. And of course, he hasn't said no. Of course, he would love to do that role.
They never do what we want with
I
James
see
Bond.
who you guys are talking about.
Simon Bassett.
I didn't know. Okay, yeah. Reggae.
Yeah.
Reggae Jean.
We were saying it
We
the
were saying
French
it
way.
French.
Well, I looked up how to say it.
Yeah,
That's how
I
they
know.
say it. Oh, okay.
But
I was like,
we like to say.
I'm sitting here
Bridget.
like, I don't know who Bridgerton is. But okay. Oh, yes. Make him anything and everything. Please. I'll watch it.
Yes.
Anything and everything that makes me feel like I have a chance.
Yeah.
So
it would be a great Bond.
Yes, and Bridgerton.
And or a
speaking of Bridgerton-
superhero. Let's bring him into Marvel, not DC. Marvel.
Yes. He would be great in anything.
Yes.
Yeah. See now there's going to be a big long pause because we're going to be sitting.
I'm
here
thinking
of
about him.
All the movies
and
that
all
he
the
could be
movies.
in.
he could be
Episode
in.
6.
That we would watch.
Bridgerton.
So speaking of Bridgerton, even though that's not what this segment was, but since we're speaking of it, it has been announced.
We speak of it a lot.
Yes, that there's going to be possibly up to 8 more seasons.
Well, I think
for-
7 because there's 8 books, right?
Yes.
Each book is a different character. There's
Okay.
8 kids.
Yes, and Dawn has read the books. We have not. We
I
probably
have.
should do that.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
With thoughts of Simon.
The current characters, and there were some other characters we like. I was happy to see them because the girl who played Daphne was in another favorite show of mine, Younger, which is more like Sex in the City than Emily in Paris is. But
Penelope was in Dairy Girls.
And the
which he
prince,
loved.
the prince, I
Penalty
can't
was-
remember his name. He's in Harry Potter.
oh yeah,
And
that's
so
right,
is
he plays
actually
McLaggen.
so is Reggae actually.
I know
McLaggen,
he was
kept
in the
trying-
wedding scene. I
Yes,
didn't even
he's
realize
just an
that.
extra. How can he be an extra?
He was
Let's be
so
real.
young. Did you see that picture?
Oh no, I didn't see it.
Wow, he was so
He
young.
was in Harry Potter.
He was
An
standing
extra in
next
the
to
wedding.
Flora at the wedding.
Oh my goodness!
I'll go back and watch
Yeah.
it. But yeah, so McLaggen.
Like I need a reason to go back and watch
Right.
Harry Potter, but now McLaggen. The whole time the prince was talking, I was like, where do I know this guy from? It was McLaggen. Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
So it's good to see people that we have loved come back. Well, we didn't love him in Harry Potter, but just
No.
seeing people you recognize.
No,
come back.
I loved the girl who played Penelope in Dairy Girls.
Yes.
Who played Beth in Dairy Girls.
So, Dawn, since you've read the books and I totally have not yet, what is up with the bumblebee? I don't get it.
Yeah, they didn't explain it in the first movie. The bumblebee is because the father of the Bridgertons was killed by a bumblebee. He was allergic to bumblebees. He got stung and went into anaphylactic shock, and he died because
Oh.
they didn't have cures for that back
Right.
then. So he died
So
very
that's
young.
his spirit?
I think they're just. I don't know why they kept bringing it
Well,
up in
and
the
the
movie.
buzz, like the
Yeah.
gossip, the buzz,
Yeah,
the bumblebee.
And
But
they also did not explain that the children were named in alphabetical
Until
order
the
until the
end.
end.
I
They
didn't
They
get
do
that.
a brief moment because I went back to see where I missed it, and right when they first introduced Lady Whistledown's column, they said, "Oh, she thinks our naming them alphabetically is banal or something."
Oh,
It's
I
like
missed
one
that.
sentence.
I missed that
that.
comment.
And
But,
because her mom says we thought that was very succinct.
but
or
back
something.
when, not Penelope, what's her name? The character who I wish I
Eloise?
was. Yes. No,
Oh,
the one
no.
with Simon.
Daphne.
Yeah, when Daphne gets whatever, they're talking about naming a baby.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's follow suit or whatever.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
the family
I
tradition
did
of
not
naming
know
them with
that.
an A.
I
Yeah.
thought that with the father, how he died, and with the naming of the kids, I thought they
They fell short.
fell short a little bit on explaining that. I heard someone say they explain it more in the second season.
I did hear they were going to do that
with
more.
Antony's
The
story.
bee.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. I don't really care about his story. So, but I'll watch it because we
I
may
just
get a
wanna
glimpse
I
of
just wanna get
Simon.
to Eloise's story
Yes.
and to Penelope and
Yes.
Colin.
Yes.
Yes, which they did hint at both a lot, and Eloise was. I loved her. She was
Yes.
just great.
I love
to watch.
Eloise, too.
Every scene she was in, she kind of stole.
Yes.
'cause she
I
was
just
so
wish she'd
great.
get rid of bangs. But hey, it's not for everybody.
It's
Yeah.
not for everybody.
It's not for anybody that was on that show. But yeah, Eloise
I
and
do love
Penelope.
that they have no bonnets. They dropped
Yes,
the bonnets.
thank God.
So very
Yeah.
happy about that.
And I love the queen.
everyone loves. the
She's
Queen.
great.
And, yeah,
And
Lady
Lady,
Danbury.
Dame
Yes.
Barry,
Lady Danbury
Yes.
is who I
Danbury.
aspire to be.
Yes.
Yes.
And Cinderella's stepmother, that's what I call her, with the 2 wicked stepsisters.
The Featheringtons.
Yes. Her story you kind of felt a little bit for her at the end.
You really felt bad for her in
So,
the fact that you realized that
her
she was
husband left
keeping
her-
all of their crap together
Yes,
because he
her husband
was
left
no
her
help.
with no
Yeah.
money. They have no money anyways.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see where that goes too, because I think we'll see more of that, even though they're not the main story.
Yeah.
Well, I
can't
mean,
wait.
somehow Penelope's got to come back.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're not gone for good.
Oh, true. And
she's-
the girl
she's
with the
Lady
cheese, the girl with the guy with cheese who loves cheese.
Yeah, they
That was
have,
one of those daughters.
I think 2 of the. I
Wicked
think there
Stepsister.
are some of the books are about. They'll appear
Yeah.
in them.
Cool. Is Simon's gonna appear.
So when
right?
is it coming back out is the question.
Yeah.
When is it
I
coming
think
back?
it's so big that they're going to try and capitalize on it. I think it's going to be soon, like next year.
I hope so.
Well,
And,
Daphne, the
I
girl that
saw
played
someone
Daphne was
post
even
recently
saying that
where
she
they're
was
filming, and now
Yeah.
I'm thinking like there's going to be like,
The end of the year, maybe?
well, people are going to be crowded around trying to get
Oh,
glimpses
yeah.
of how they're
Oh,
filming.
yeah.
Because before nobody knew what it was, and now everybody knows what
Yes.
it is.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I don't know a single person who hasn't seen it twice.
Well, my husband
Okay,
hasn't,
woman.
but
I don't know a single woman who hasn't seen
I
it
got to
once
the
and
end
hasn't
just
seen
let
it
it
twice.
loop right back to start over.
Yeah.
So it's just fine with me.
Yeah.
Let's
And
keep it
him
on a loop.
boxing. What let's bring back Rocky and let's just have him play him or something. I don't mind.
We already had Creed.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
Creed will need a
We
son.
need to find out what this guy is doing next, because if he's just going to be doing this for a while,
I don't care.
All right.
I'll be there.
Whatever he does, we're watching.
Like Joe.
You feel
Like
the other
Joe.
guys in the
in
show
you.
go like, "Hey, we were in this show too, ladies."
Oh, are
It's
you?
like, what?
Who are you again?
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
there's
you
always
almost shot him.
there's
Who
always
are
gonna
you?
be that guy. Jax Teller. You know, so he knows he's hot.
All right, so that pretty much wraps up this session. It doesn't wrap up our binging. We're constantly binging. Got lots more things to read and to watch
And to talk about.
and things that are coming up, and things that were maybe long ago. So if you are interested in more of this, we have more of it on our website at bingewatchers.com.
BingeWatchersCouncil.com.
Yeah, what was I going to say? Doctor? Bingewatchers Doctor.
That's a good one.
A whole new episode.
You can be called the doctor.
Yeah.
And then also on Instagram, we have everything's Binge Watchers Council. Just look it up. You'll find it. So that's pretty much it. And we'll
Keep binging. Talk to you soon.
bye.
Bye.